Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Soulful Self Development Podcast. Today, I'm going to be diving into my experiences from this past weekend. I just got home from a 4-day spiritual retreat in BC, and this is my third time going, and this time I got to bring my sister. So it was very special to me, and I just want to share with you guys my experience and all that I learned because I learned a lot in those 4 days. And I just want to say, doing plant medicine and sitting with a shaman and sitting in a place with other people on a spiritual healing journey and just forming those connections and having that sense of community is just so beyond powerful. And I just feel so grateful that I got to be a part of that I got to have those experiences. And my cup is so full. I am so full of gratitude right now. I just feel like I'm glowing from the inside out. And going back into society after being out in the bush for 4 days with no cell phone service, just, really connecting to myself and focusing on my journey and having so many realizations and confirmations and just learning so much. And now coming back into a world of people who are not working on themselves can be kind of triggering. So, before going on this trip and before drinking ayahuasca, you have to do a very strict cleanse for your body because your body is a vessel. And the cleaner your vessel is, I don't want to say the better experience you're going to have, because Mother Ayahuasca will give you whatever it is that you need. But however, if you have a lot of not good things inside your body, such as chemicals and like processed foods and sugar and salt and all these things that you have to cut out of your diet before going, if they're in your body, you're gonna have to do a lot more work to get to having these breakthroughs and whatnot. So you have to go on a cleanse, and every time I think it's going to kind of suck because it's pretty strict and there's a lot of things you have to cut out, from pork to red meat to sugar to salt, any kind of processed food. So it can seem difficult to try and eat enough food in a day to, and this cleanse still goes on afterwards, before, during, and after for a few days, because the medicine is still in your body. And driving home last night was like a 14-hour drive, and we can't eat anything. No takeout food, nothing in the grocery store. Like, everything you essentially just have to cook yourself. So that was a struggle, but luckily we found a place that would make us a plain stir fry with no sauce, no salt, no added anything. And then we have this one kind of sauce, like, say, healthy soy sauce kind of, that you can put on it. So yeah, that was, and that's like such a part of the journey as well. And that really was something that I really learned. So I'm going to go through my experience and talk about each night. And all of my days were very connected to one another. It was as if this whole weekend I was just getting all these puzzle pieces. And then by the last day, I could see the whole picture. And it was just so beautiful. And this is my third time going, so I did know kind of what to expect. I did know what it was like. And, I have committed myself to doing this work. It's not something that you do once and you're just good forever. It is like a commitment to doing this kind of work, because the more you heal yourself, and then once you get through that, you're healing ancestral traumas and you're healing all these parts of yourself, so that you don't pass this stuff on to your children, so that you don't, go around the world hurting others. It's really important to take care of yourself, which was like a really, really, really big lesson that kept coming up for me this weekend. So essentially the first night, my intention going into the ceremony was show me where I need to heal and show me where I can grow. That was my intention. I wanted to see these blocks that were in my way, because I often get to a point of feeling stuck in wanting to move forward in my career with coaching. I want to put things together. I just feel like I get so lost and stuck, and in the day-to-day life I end up feeling like I don't have time to do the things I want to do for myself, and it can be very frustrating. So I was just like, show me these blocks. So she did. She showed me exactly what it was. And you know what? Like, a lot of it is like I knew in a way. I know I am a very connected person. I am a very open person. I am very gifted. But sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you don't follow what you think, is best. And so there was 4 big blocks, 4 big things that I needed to learn and do for myself differently. Number 1 is my phone. I need to stop leaving my phone in my room at night, because it's the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning, and that's just a bad habit, starting off my day in a low vibrational energy. And so I already have ordered myself an alarm clock so that I can leave my phone plugged in out of my room, and I can have an alarm clock in my room to wake me up, because that's always why I leave my phone by my bed, so that I can wake up in the morning, and then you shut your alarm off and you grab your phone and you have a text message and a Snapchat and a whatever. So that I'm not touching my phone in the morning right when I wake up. And then also just detoxing from my phone altogether. It's something I need to spend less time on. I decided that I'm going to delete Snapchat. It's just something that I don't really need anymore. I don't feel like I need it to communicate to the people that are important to me in my life anymore. And I feel like it can be such a distraction for me. So I have decided to delete it. Moving forward, I did really enjoy the memories and stuff that would pop up, and that was part of it that like kept me so attached to it for so long. But you know what? There's a lot of memories popping up of me being drunk, or from years ago when I used to party and all those things, and I just don't want to be reminded of that. I'm just so moving on with my life, and I just, honestly, I see these memories and I'm like, oh God, what was I doing? And I don't want to judge myself, because, I was in that place for a reason, and I learned a lot being in all those different phases of life, and, I was young and that was the norm and whatever. So I don't want to judge myself, but sometimes when those photos pop up or videos, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I have been kind of taking a hiatus from Instagram. I haven't really been posting on Instagram at all. So I think that I'm going to go through my Instagram and do a really big unfollowing of people, accounts, whatever, that is not in alignment with my energy anymore, which I like to do for myself once in a while anyway. And then I really want to dial in and focus on using Instagram solely as a business tool to promote myself, to promote my work, to have offers for people to work with me and things like that, but not worry about it as much as a social media to be keeping up with all these people that I once knew, because it can be really energy draining, and that's just not where I want to focus my energy anymore. So that was a really big realization that came to me of a block that I need to remove from my life. So next is being judgmental, which is something that I think most of us struggle from. And you know what? When I am in connection with my highest self, when I am being very spiritual, I am very good at having no judgment. I'm very good at seeing people for, when you see somebody struggling, you want to be like, oh, why would you do that? But it's being able to see like, oh, they went through this experience and that's all they know and blah, 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 blah. They hold on to all this trauma. But when I'm not in a high vibration, when I'm becoming frustrated by things, when I'm not taking care of myself properly, when I don't have this routine for myself that's extremely beneficial, then I can become very judgmental. So instead of being frustrated and triggered by others, I just, from now on, am only going to send them love and light and wish them healing. So if somebody makes me upset, instead of being like, oh, why can't they just get it? Why can't they understand? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? No. I'm sorry you're hurting. Here is some love. Here is some light. I really hope that you find the healing you need to be able to grow. And then just move on, because, I was getting really triggered by people before I went on this retreat. It was like I had a really hard time going out in public because I just was seeing so many things that was making me so frustrated. So that is something. It's like anytime there's a negative energy, it could be an energy within a human, or even if there is like a negative entity outside, like a spirit or something that is following me around, and I'm just frustrated because I can feel the negative energy like lingering around me or my environment, I just say, no thank you. This isn't the energy I choose to be around me. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you light. I hope that you can, overcome this, whatever it is you're going through, but just, I'm sending you love over there and you can stay over there. And just like understanding that everyone is on their own journey in this universe, and I can only lead by example and work on healing myself and work on my own growth, okay? Because I know that I'm a healer. I know that I'm here to help raise the vibration of the planet, raise this consciousness of the planet. But sometimes I get so lost in it of like, I just want to help others, help others, help others. And then it doesn't feel like I'm helping others because I'm not taking the absolute best care of myself that I possibly can. And until I do that, I won't be able to help as many people to the capacity of which I would like to be able to help others. So I need to not spend my energy on worrying about others unless they ask me to or need me to hold space for them. Everyone's on their own journey, and being an empath, being somebody that's very caring, it can be really hard to not worry about other people, right? You're always worried about other people. You want everyone else to be happy. You want everyone else to have all these things because you see the best in other people and you think they deserve all this. And you know what? It's just exhausting. It is exhausting. And I am really good at holding space for people. I am really good at being that rock for people. But unless they ask me to, unless there is an agreement or an energy exchange, I can't do that for other people because it is so draining and it's not my job. It's not my place. And that is a boundary that I really need to have for myself. Number 3 is food. So what I eat has such an extremely powerful effect on everything I do and on my energy and how powerful and strong my gifts are and how connected I am to myself, to my highest self, to the universe, to spirit, to energy, everything. And this is something that I need to focus on. So no sugar. This is going to be the biggest one for me. I had to cut sugar out of my diet for this experience, and I just have such a sweet tooth, so that's something that I'm going to try to cut out. I'm going to try to find a line for myself and where that line is at this moment, I'm not sure if it's no refined sugars at all, or if it's, I won't eat anything with more than, 10 grams of sugar or whatever. I have to find, but it's just like the energy of refined sugar is so negative and it has such a negative effect on our bodies and it can make us so diseased. And it just like not eating sugar, I it's only been a week and I just feel so good, and I honestly feel like I can keep this up. So that is a boundary that I also really need to set for myself. And just cutting out refined sugars from your diet just instantly, I think, makes you eat really healthy. And it was also really eye-opening to see like how much food actually has refined sugar in it. Like everything, it eliminates like 99% of the grocery store. Like it is so hard to find food without it in it. And for me, that was triggering, but I believe I needed my eyes to be that open to the truth of how much sugar is in everything and how much it negatively impacts me and my energy and my abilities and my gifts. And like, this is so important to me because this is my career. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I read energy for a living. I connect with people's energies. I am connected to my spirituality and all these things, and I lose that connection when I don't take care of myself, and it makes it harder to do, and I do not attract the people to me, to my energetic field that I need to help when I'm not helping myself, when I'm eating these shitty foods. So that was a really big one for me, and I know that that's going to be a huge step in my growth on my journey. So that is what I am focusing on for the next, well, hopefully forever. Honestly, that is something that I just hope to change in my lifestyle completely. Number 4 is worrying. I kept worrying about things while I was in this ceremony, in this meditation. Things kept coming up. I was worrying about dance and having to fix formations because there's a girl that quit dance this week, and I hadn't been to dance since. I hadn't had these groups, so I'm like worrying about where I'm going to move this formation to and all these things I have to fix, and splicing music, and just like, so insignificant. It is so insignificant, and it's just silly because I know like it's already solved. Like that's the thing, is like our problems that we sometimes fixate on and end up taking up so much of our energy. Like if we ask our angels, our guides, our spirit guides, our whatever, dragons, fairies, whatever you have on your team helping you out, if you ask them to help you, they will solve the problem. And it's going to take me maybe one class to fix all these formations, and I'm not sure why I was just so worried about it. Like in the moment you're like, oh, all this work I have to do, but now it's like by the end of this week that I'm not even going to remember that was a problem. So just worrying about things, anytime something comes up in my brain where I keep worrying about it, I just need to remind myself that I'm just an observer of this thought, that, it's at the end of the day, it's not really important. At the end of the day, it's already sorted out. If I ask for help, I will receive help, and then I'm not worrying about this. Number 5 was that I need more time for just me. I am a social butterfly and I have roommates, so sometimes I very easily get drug into hanging out and spending all this time when I truly know that I just need to be alone. I just need to recharge my own battery. I want to have a bath. I want to come in and record a podcast episode. I want to sit down and do some work. I want to meditate. I want to, whatever it is, all these things that I need to do for myself. But a lot of the time I will make excuses of not doing it because I want to hang out with my friends, or my friends come over after work, or whatever it is, and then I'm not having this time for myself. So that's a really big boundary that I saw that I need to set for myself, learning to say no, only doing what feels good for me, and we're not worrying about anything, but being aware of the energy in which I am surrounding myself in, because I do not drink alcohol, but all of my friends do, and it becomes quite a common occurrence. And to each their own, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And I'm not judging them for being on that path, but I have learned that for myself, I don't really enjoy being around that. And there's already a lot of times where I have to be in situations around people that are drinking that is out of my control, such as going to work. But when it's in my space, when I have the opportunity to say no and not spend time around that and just go do my own thing instead, that's something that I need to learn to do for myself, because I'm not ingesting the energy of alcohol, but just being surrounded by it again also has an effect on my energy, and I can see the negative effect it has on other people's energies, and that alone can be draining to watch. So it's just, I think I'm going to become a little bit of a hermit for at least the next few months while I do a lot of this inner work and transform my life into this next level that I see coming for me. And you know what? Sometimes that means growing away from people. Sometimes that means, being alone and just spending time alone. And, I was really not excited for winter because I don't love the cold. And, I feel like I don't have as much fun in the winter as I do in the other seasons. But you know what? It's not the season for that. It is the season for going inward and doing the inner work and just all these things. And after this weekend, I am so excited for winter. I am so excited to sit with myself and just paint and journal and read and, curl up on the couch in my comfy clothes and my fuzzy blanket and just, relax. And, obviously I'm still going to play because it's important to connect with your inner child. But yeah, I'm just really, really excited for being with myself and, creating some habits for myself of just self-care things that feels good for me that I love to do, such as baths and doing my gua sha and having a good facial routine and all these kinds of things. And I really just learned that I can only help make the world become a better place if I'm becoming the best version of myself if I'm becoming the best version of myself that I can possibly be. And I need to work on growing my light, being more magical, being as magical as I can be, focusing my needs to be inward. Everything outward is such a distraction. So if I'm not looking inward, focusing inward on what I need, what I desire, what's best for me, then I'm not going to be following the path that is what is meant for me to walk. If I want to have all the things that my heart desires. And if I focus my energy outward, then I lose my light and I lose my power. And I'm not able to create the life that I really want to have. So my second night was definitely the toughest night for me. I was in an uncomfortable energy. My body felt uncomfortable. I had a headache. I just kind of felt ill, and the entire theme of that night was frustration. So when I sat there, I realized that what I was feeling was frustration, and before I went on this trip, I was being extremely frustrated by a lot of things. I've been really focusing on learning about what's in the food that I eat, and it's frustrating when it feels like all this food is so poisoned, and I just want to have access to good, healthy food, and I just want to be able to eat so good for my body, for my mind, for my soul, for my purpose, and it's frustrating to me. I feel a lot of frustration with my dad. I love him so much, but our relationship can be quite frustrating because I feel like I never see him and I don't really talk to him, and it's just something that needs a lot more work on. And so that was frustrating me. It was his birthday a couple weeks ago, and I sent him this nice message, and all I got in reply was thanks. And I was just frustrated. So many things. I've been frustrated so much with the external world, but I realized that in reality, I'm just frustrated with myself because everything in our external world is such a reflection of our internal world, and there was a lot of things that I was not doing for myself that was causing me to feel frustrated. I'm frustrated with this food and all the shitty things that's in the food, but I was still eating it. Some of it. I've been doing a lot better, but that's why I was feeling so frustrated, because I was mad at myself because I can see what's in it. I can feel the toxins. I know that it's so shitty, but yet I was still making these poor decisions and putting it in my body. So the only one to blame is me. I mean, yes, these people shouldn't be putting these shitty things in the food, but now I have a clear boundary for myself of absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I know that if I ingest this, it's going to affect my energy. I know that if I eat this, it's going to make me feel like shit. It's going to lower my vibration. And I just know that my energy is too precious for that now. I know that that is just not what's best for me anymore. So I now hold so much clarity, and I now know how to move past this and on to the next level of my journey. And it's going to involve a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go, and creating strong boundaries for myself, which isn't necessarily going to be easy for me to do, but I know that it is so necessary. I know that it's what I need, and I know that it's what I have to do for my work, for my gifts, for my light, for my magic. And I've been feeling such a call towards all of this before going to this, but this last weekend just really, really showed me how much I truly need this in my life, how much I'm ready to move on, and how truly precious my energy is, and how important it is for me to protect it and to nourish it. So that was really, really my second night. And once I realized what I was feeling was that frustration, I went through all these things I was frustrated with, and then I had a really good purge. I also purged the first night, which is just like letting go. And I had a really good purge the second night, and then I got out of that negative energy. I no longer had a headache. I no longer was in this funky energy. I was in a higher vibration, and I just enjoyed the rest of my night, and I fell asleep, and it was great. And it gave me this motivation that I really needed to start focusing my energy really on where I want to go, where attention goes, energy flows. And I know that, but now I just see so clearly why my energy is so precious and why I need to be so protective of my time and my energy so that I can focus it truly on what I want, and I'm not giving it away to all these external sources and it's sucking me dry. And then I'm like, why do I feel like I have no time and energy to do the things that I want to do? So I know that I deserve to take the utmost care of myself, because I truly, truly do love myself, and I love who I am and all that I stand for, and I know that I'm worthy of more that I have been acting like I am. I know I'm worthy of more than the ways that I have been treating myself in the past. And I mean, this is spirituality is not just something you do. It's not just something you think. It is an entire way of life, and growth is not linear, and it's not singular either. So, along my journey, I've had a lot of growth, and I have been taking better and better care of myself since the start of my journey. This is just the next step for me. This is just the next chapter of this book. And I just see it so clearly. I can read the words, I can hear, I can see, I can feel. And I just gained so much clarity. And just knowing I can do it, because that's something I've always struggled with myself is self-discipline. I could pick out the perfect morning routine to do every morning. I could see exactly what it is that I could eat, but I would get to a point where I'm like, well, I don't want to eat that. I want to eat this. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And then I just do that. And that's something that I need to work on for myself, because it's not something I'm good at. But I have this fire under my ass now. I have this really strong motivation, and I'm really excited to see what comes. So the third night was my favorite night, and it was so beautiful. So my intention for sitting in the medicine was show me my light, show me my power, and connect me to my highest self. So I got my period, so the shaman could not sing to me. So, and usually like he goes around the room and sings to everybody, and I get so worried about when he's gonna come to me, because you have to like set up at the end of your bed while he sings to you. And knowing that he wasn't coming to me, I just like laid down and I was totally in my own world. And medicine can be a little more intense when you're on your period, because your energy is just like heightened, right? And so I'm like, okay. I laid down, relaxed, and I was just in my own world. And I had a lot of realizations. So I realized people talk about and share their experiences while they're there, and people say they're going to all these different dimensions, they're seeing all these different things, and I have never really had visuals. I get like the odd little bit of a visual, but for me it's mostly just inner knowing, which is genuinely my strongest intuition sense in my day-to-day life. I'm not a big, like, I'm a visionary and I have visions, but it's not in like I close my eyes and I see it like a movie. It's like I know what I'm seeing, even if I don't see it, if that makes sense. It's kind of confusing. Anyway, so that's kind of what my experiences are always like. And so I realized that the night before that I was in a low vibration. It was uncomfortable, it was dense, it was dark, and it was all around focus on frustration and anger, and that is a low vibrational state. And so then I realized that I was going into higher and higher and higher vibrational dimensions. And I realized that they were all different dimensions. And it's like, I thought people were like traveling to like different places, but every single vibration is a different dimension. Because when you're in that vibration, when you live in that vibration, everything in your reality is different. The higher your vibration goes, the better a reality you're going to live in. And this isn't just when you're sitting in the medicine. This is every single day. And this was such a realization that came to me because, you know, I was in a lower vibration. I am a high vibrational person, naturally. But when I'm not taking care of myself, when I'm not doing the things that I need to do, my vibration gets lower and lower and lower. And even though I'm still in a higher vibration because I'm spiritual, because I meditate, because I still do these things, because I don't drink alcohol or smoke weed, you know, but I'm still in a lower vibration because I'm feeling these lower vibrational emotions and I was holding on to them. So when I had this realization, because in the medicine, I was like, I could feel myself keep going higher and higher and higher and higher. And there was like I could hear the vibration in my ear, like it was getting like more high pitched and like faster the higher I went up. And the higher I felt myself rise in this vibration, the more just like understanding and confirmation and like downloads I had from the universe. And a lot of this information that was coming to me, I already knew, but it's just so nice and powerful and reassuring, and I'm just so grateful that it was all confirmed to me, and like knowing that I'm on the right path and that all this wisdom that I hold inside is so true, and like there's a reason that I have these gifts that I do have and that I am here to help raise the vibration of the planet, and that all these things for me are just going to start unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And it's just so nice to really know that I'm on the right path and that I was right about all these things. And I had a lot of confirmations about who I am and my power and my purpose, my light, and how truly so bright it is when I take care of myself. And it's not like this was new information, but it felt so good to be reminded of that, to be reconnected with that energy and that knowledge. I am very gifted, I am very talented, I am very powerful, I am a very bright light, and there is so much light for me to spread just by sharing what I love and uplifting other people. And it's so powerful to know that everything I believe and all that I know so deep in my soul is all so true, and it's also a part of my soul. And I can never forget this, because I can never forget or ignore these parts of myself, because that's just who I am and that's just my energy. And I know that some big things are about to change for me. I have to make a lot of changes, but I know that I truly have the motivation that I need to stick with this all, because I love myself so much, and I'm so lucky that I get to be me in this life. And every single time that I've gone and sat with this medicine, like, I always end up in that place of like, I'm just so grateful to be me. I'm so grateful for this life that I live. I'm so grateful for, everything that makes me that I have dance, and dance is such a part of my message, and that I'm so intuitive, and that I'm so wise for my age. And it's, I'm only going to continue to grow and learn even more. And the more that I grow and learn, the more capacity I have for helping other people on their growth journeys. And just everything, it was literally just such a puzzle getting put back together, and just watching the picture come in full was so beautiful. And really just understanding that, like, the different dimensions, because that is so powerful to know that, because it's like, it's actually up to us, and we get to pick in which reality we live, in which dimension we want to exist in. Do we want to exist in a world full of suffering? Then we choose to suffer. We're sitting in our own suffering, and we're not dealing with those tough emotions. We're not dealing with our trauma. We're not trying to heal and grow and transform. We're going to be staying in this dimension forever, where we're always dealing with suffering, and everybody's suffering. And that's tough, and that's painful. And I think that's really common for so many of us, especially because, this stuff isn't taught. This stuff isn't just common knowledge. It's something that, unless you are on the path of growth and self-discovery and healing, that some people never will learn. And, but it holds so much power, because, I don't want to suffer. I'm putting this down. And, yes, obviously there's going to be people in which my life that I interact with that do suffer, but I'm not going to let it affect my energy, because I know that all I can do is send them love, send them light, wish them healing. If they ask me to hold space for them, I can. If they ask for my advice, then I can share that with them in hopes of helping them where they need or ask for help. But other than that, like, I can't let it affect me, because I know that everyone's on their own path. Everyone's in their own dimension, in their own reality. And it's not up to me to worry about this. It's not up to me to hold that weight on my shoulders, because it can so easily be something that I hold on to, that I attach myself to, that I want to feel like I have to save or fix people. But that's not my job. And I am here to help, but help is a totally different energy. And I know that the best way that I can help others is to truly just help myself, to take the utmost care of myself. And I'm just so thankful that this weekend really brought so much of that to light for me. And that the fourth night was the last night of the ceremony, and I think I fell asleep for a while because it seemed to have gone really, really fast. And I feel like I did purge. I did let go of some self-doubt and some doubt. My intention going into the fourth night was show me the magic, and ended up just circling back to like the fact that I am the magic and I'm here to keep the magic alive. And I see magic all around me every single day, but it was starting to become such a normal part of my everyday life that I was thinking that I was going to get shown something crazy that I didn't already know or experience in my everyday life. But it was just a reminder that, I am the magic. The magic is there. I see the magic. That is part of what makes my gift so special, and why I want to share this with so many other people, because, the magic really is there. If you believe it's there, if you, ask to see the magic, if you call it into your life, it's there. And I'm constantly having experiences in my life where it is nothing but magic. And, then I just sat in gratitude for the rest of the night. I was just thanking Mother Ayahuasca for all that she does, for all the healing that she provides to people, for the sense of community of bringing people together who are wanting to do this healing work, and just so much gratitude for everyone that was at this retreat. Just the most beautiful souls, to be able to connect with so many like-minded people, to watch my sister go through this experience and just watch her grow and blossom, and just so much healing that had been done for her as well. And just everyone around me, like just the best, most deepest conversations with just such wise people. And just I just gained so much insight this entire weekend. It truly was so beautiful, so magic, so divine, and something that I know I will continue to do for the rest of my life. And it's just, you do this work, and I think maybe like, I go once or twice or 3 times and then that's it, but it's not. It's really a way of life. And once you start doing these healing practices, it becomes so beneficial, and you learn. There's so much more to learn. Like, I know that I have a lot of understandings, but I know it's only the tip of the iceberg, and that there is so much more that I will dive into. The deeper that my spirituality goes, the deeper that my journey goes, I'm unlocking more memories, more understandings, more truths, like every time that I do this work. And I said to Mother Ayahuasca that I would dedicate my life to this work, dedicate my life to helping others heal, dedicate my life to sharing this knowledge and wisdom that she shares with me. And just knowing that, like, if I can encourage people to try this medicine and be able to heal and grow in these ways is so profound. And, I always feel so much gratitude because I hear about other people's experiences, and I know, like, I'm just feel so lucky because in this life, yes, I've gone through trauma, yes, I've gone through things, but nothing so bad. Like, people are telling me these experiences, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. And then I always feel so much gratitude of, like, I've done a lot of healing in my life for the trauma that I have gone through, but I don't have so much trauma to go through that now I can get to this point where I'm having these deep understandings and these deep learnings so that I can, become this healer to help others. And it was just so magical. So that was my weekend. That was my experience. if you guys ever have any questions, please reach out and I will let you know what I can. If you ever feel called to do this, I highly recommend. And yeah, it's just so powerful, so enlightening, so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to all that is to come for me. And I just have a really good feeling about this expansiveness that I'm going through. So yeah, that is all for today. Thank you to each and every one of you for listening, for the love and support that you show me. I have so much gratitude for all of you and this show, and being able to share all of this with you guys just really makes my heart so full. So thank you so much. And I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.